Hi everyone, my name is Carla Cook and welcome to my channel. As you can see, I have a surprise guest with me today. We are filming a video about our love life hashtag Valentine's Day challenge, which by the way, today is for February the 14th.
All day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Do you want to introduce yourself, babe?
If I have to.
Okay.
I'm Nathan, been married to Carla for almost 10 years and a couple months.
So he's my husband. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on all post notifications. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. So what I have for y'all today is a whole bunch of questions, and that's a way of us telling kind of like our story. For a while, I have been wanted to bring my husband to my channel so everyone could actually meet him. I don't know why I get started.
Ta-da, here I am.
And so we're going to go ahead and do the first question. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Do you know what the first question is?
No, don't remember.
Okay. The first question is, how did you guys meet?
We met online on MySpace back when that was cool and popular.
Right. That was like, what, over a decade ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I was not looking, to date anyone. And were you looking to date anyone? I wasn't really like, I was just wanting to share my like to inspire others. I still posted like workout pictures, and I just wanted to have that space for me to share. And
Your space? MySpace?
MySpace. So we started like friends. He was a great listener. I was actually kind of like hurting out of a past relationship that I had, and he was a great listening ear for 6 months. And he brought a lot of comfort in my life, and I truly believe that God placed him there to help me get through that time. I have mentioned this in a previous video that I made, how he helped me just move past that hurtful experience that I went through. The first time that I actually saw him in person was at my parents' house. I was 18 years old.
No.
19 years old.
Just turned 20.
Oh, just had turned 20. But we actually, like, what was the first time that we started talking?
We started talking December 29th, 2008.
Okay, so in 2008. And so we talked just like friends. Like, I wasn't, like expecting anything more than a friendship for 6 months. And I would tell him about my entire day, and it would be like a 3-hour phone call, and he was great at listening to every little detail of my day. And every girl loves that. I love that, having that person listening to me. And when we met 6 months later, he actually drove 12 hours because he was born in Amarillo.
The Texas Panhandle.
Yes, that's where he's from. And he came over to my house to take us to our date, which that's probably gonna be the next question. I remember when he knocked at the door, and my mom, she walks in, and actually my mom, she called me over the phone, and she's like, Carla, there's somebody looking for you outside, because my dad told her that there was somebody asking for me, and he was actually happy to see him, and he actually encouraged me. He's like, don't let him go, because he looks like he's a charm, like he's he's a what, like a winner. He really liked the way he was dressed. My mom, she always wanted, this man all with his nice, like almost business attire dress for me. And I noticed a lot of approval from their part. And so, yeah, my parents were very excited about him. So, anything that you want to add to that one?
You've said plenty.
Okay, so read the second question.
What was the first date?
Yes, the first date.
I think that was that lousy horror movie that we went and saw.
Yeah, so continuing to my story, after he went to my house to pick me up for our date, we our date was mainly to have a dinner, and we went to KFC.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and then we went to watch a movie, and it was...
Not that we went to KFC, it was that we were going to a movie, and while we were waiting, it was, I'm hungry, what's close?
Okay. So we had dinner, and I remember that I was a bit nervous, and I was hungry, but at that moment when I was sitting there in front of him, it's like my hunger stopped, and I just had like a few bites. I wanted to keep my waist snatched, and I just didn't want to overeat. And then we went on to this movie that, were you crazy about watching?
No.
Yeah, he was not into horror movies. Back in the day, I was into horror movies. No wonder I used to have nightmares when I was around that age. I'm like, why? Like, I read my Bible, but I had that little thing. Like, I like to watch horror movies. And that has changed because I don't really watch horror movies anymore. Ironically, that's like, we literally, like, we purchased a house right, what?
We're about a half mile from that theater.
Yeah, like that's the theater. Like I never knew that we were actually going to like start a family and buy a house, like literally on that neighborhood where the movies were. So yeah, that was the first date. It was a horror movie that he didn't like, and I didn't like it either. I thought it was kind of cheesy. And dinner. Do you want to add anything to that?
No.
No? Okay. So we have next the age difference. What's our age difference?
Almost 5 years difference.
Almost 5 years difference, yes. Who was interested first?
You were.
Okay, I was. Okay, so back to our story, right? So he's picking me up to go to our very first date ever. Which again, to me, it wasn't like this like date, because I had never seen this guy in person. All I knew was that I love the sound of his voice and I love his listening ear. I really like that. I remember whenever I saw him in person, I was like, okay, whoa. First of all, this guy, he's really tall. I didn't really know exactly how tall he was. I mean, I knew he was 6'5". Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how he looked like, next to me 6'5". And whenever I saw him, he actually looked like he was coming out of the dry clean, all really nice and pressed. And I was impressed, and I really like his breath. Like, as he spoke, it's like that commercial that is like, like I feel the mint. So I don't know how many bottles of mouthwash he used that night, but I was pleasantly pleased. And then I was like, you know what, Carla? I thought to myself, like, I was just wearing like some shorts. No, I was just wearing like different clothes, and whenever I saw him dressed, he was like dress nicer for the occasion. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go change. And I went back to my room and he waited for me. I left him with some peanuts in the living room at my parents' house, and he waited for me. And I went to change, and at that moment when I saw him in person, I was like, I am going to stop like talking to him over the phone about how this relationship hurt me and oh my gosh, you know, and start actually seeing that there is big potential here. So, who is taller? I think I already answered that, but just tell them how tall you are. Oh, I already said it, but just say it.
I'm a little bit taller.
Yeah, so 6'5", and I'm 5'2.5". But for the most part, I just say 5'2". Sometimes I say 5'3", but I am really 5'2.5". And this chair that I'm sitting is a little bit higher, and I wanted it so we look more proportionate, and I didn't want to be too cut out of the frame in the camera. So next, who said I love you first? Why do you look at me?
Because you did.
Okay, so he seems like to have a better memory when it comes to our beginnings, like our first time that we talked and our dates. So I mean, I would agree because I'm a girl and I'm pretty loving. I don't know. I think I was the one who said that I love him first. So, the most impatient.
You win again.
Me? I win again. Well, I can be a little bit impatient, but as I get, more like mature and older as a mother of 4, I feel that, and the more I ask God to give me patience, I think I'm a little bit more patient than I used to be. So on the personalities, I'm considered like a sanguine, but I feel like a very strong sanguine on a way that I want things like that. And surprises, like, it's very hard for me to keep a surprise. It's like it's burning, like I need to say it. Like, it's very hard. So, okay, that would be me. The most sensitive. I think that's you. He is the most sensitive. Little things that I don't think that would really matter to him, just like, oh, you didn't kiss me when I came back from work. I'm like, oh, I didn't think that was a big deal. I'm here cooking and cleaning and showering the kids. I'm like, doing all of these things, but that very small detail he notices, or you didn't touch me today, or you didn't kiss me goodnight, things like that. So I think you are the most sensitive, which I think is sweet. The loudest.
In general? You?
Me? The loudest?
In general.
Okay. But
more often than not.
Okay, why don't you tell them something about, like, at the beginning, isn't that some of this that you liked about me? That I was kind of loud?
That you were energetic and talked a lot.
Yeah. So he will write me these love letters. And so we had a long distance relationship. For how long?
6 months before we met in person, 13 months before we were close.
Okay. So yeah, so it was a long distance relationship. And I remember receiving those letters from him, and he would write that he loved my energetic personality. So I feel that he actually encouraged it. I used to be like, oh yeah, I'm loud, but he reassured me more. So I'm like, okay, he likes it, so I'm gonna go hardcore. I'm going to just be free. And so yeah, I can be loud. But it also depends on the setting. Like, if I am like in a place that I don't know anyone, obviously, I'm just going to keep to myself. But if somebody comes talk to me, For the most part, like at church, I usually go and, you know, like greet people and go talk to people. But so I can be loud if I know you, if I feel comfortable, you know, like. But I can also keep a low tone.
Okay.
All right, now the most stubborn. That's kind of like almost the same. You can be stubborn, and I can be stubborn.
That was a hard one to answer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stubbornness from both.
Yeah, I remember that he would say, you know what, I think I'm stubborn, and as much as you are, because there's times that he doesn't get off his horse and I don't get off my horse. But you know what? Thinking about it, I think I can go the longest, like keeping a grudge. And I think he gets off his horse faster. So we're almost equal there, but maybe just like a little bit, just a bit. Me.
Maybe.
All right. Falls asleep first.
Probably me.
Yeah. For the most part, he falls asleep first. It's like literally no matter like what I do, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, he beat me again. Like our 5-year-old, he's like, Mom, get in the shower right now, because Dad, he's showering. And I'm like, okay. And so like to me, sometimes it's like a competition, which he don't really care to see who showers first. But I'm like, oh my gosh, again and again. I'm like, okay, he's waiting in bed. And there's been a few occasions that the night before last night that I was actually waiting for you in bed, and he actually high-fived me. He's like, yeah, you got the kids ready at I started getting them ready at 7, like I shower them, and then by 8 o'clock we were all done. And 8:15 I was reading to them before bed, and he was coming home because he did the groceries this Saturday, which I appreciate because, well, why? Because the temperature.
Freezing cold outside.
Yeah, he wanted to save me that trip of going to go do the groceries. For the most part, he goes to bed earlier, but with this new regimen that I've been trying to incorporate into my life, which is going to bed early. My goal is what time?
To be in bed by 9 o'clock.
But 9 o'clock. Because I want to be up like every morning by 5:30. But for the most part, I get up at 5:45. But I need to tweak that a little bit more. So, making improvement. And what is the next one? Cooks better.
I would say in the early days it was me, but Carla has surpassed me since then.
On tacos. Yeah, I've almost like every dish. He actually loves my tacos, but I have to disagree because I think he's the better cook. He just doesn't cook often. Like I think he cooks amazing. When I met him, he used to cook a lot more often. He would cook chili potato, which I'm like, how does Eve says from Wally? Ooh, that movie is one of my favorite movies that we just recently discovered with the kids. I encourage you to watch it. What's it called?
Wall-E.
Oh yeah, Wall-E. And so every time Wally does something exciting, like to show her, she goes, ooh. So I could relate with her at the beginning. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, he cooks. That's amazing. You know, I love it. Better morning person.
I don't know if either one of us are good in the morning.
Yeah.
You've been doing good about getting up and going to the gym lately.
Yeah, I feel that I can have a better attitude once I get my workout in. When I don't have my workout in, and let's say I didn't have enough hours of sleep, that's like literally a dinosaur wake up in the morning, like tired, didn't get my workout, and so I'm just feeling like, moody, like. But I think we're the same on that one.
Okay.
Like, I think we both have the same attitudes when we wake up in the morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Better driver. Better driver. Yeah. I did go to driving school, but every now and then I do like a turn, So I think whenever he drives, he's more smooth. I like the experience better. So I think he's the better driver. All right. The next question. Most competitive.
I would say I am.
Okay.
It's a yes or no question.
Okay. Okay, I would agree with him. Most competitive. Even though, like, in the showers, I compete who's gonna shower first. So, okay. Next. Funniest.
I would say me.
Okay, I would agree. A lot of times I feel that I need to develop a more humor in my life. And what do you usually say? Don't be too serious, or don't take it too serious.
What do I normally say?
Yeah, about that. To not be so serious, to loosen up a bit. So, yeah, I think he's the funniest, especially when he gets out of the shower. He does his little dance to me. Which I think is super sweet. I love it. So, next. Where do you eat out most as a couple?
The house.
The house? Okay, but it says out.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
Is Golden Corral an acceptable answer?
Yeah, I mean, that's us, so we just gotta be real.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would be Golden Corral. It's a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
And we go there. We used to go more often than we do now. Before I met him, I went there 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Right after the gym, go fuel myself at Golden Corral. And so I almost knew everybody there. But we love Golden Corral. But what other restaurants do we like? I mean, it's not that we go like very often out to eat, because for the most part we choose a homemade meal.
Mm-hmm.
But what other restaurants do we like?
I like anything Mexican food. My current favorite is Chuy's.
Yeah, mine too. I love Chuy's.
Taqueria Jalisco is pretty.
Oh yeah,
fantastic
Taqueria
too.
Jalisco. Oh my gosh, they make fresh squeeze
Orange juice.
orange juice. That's my favorite there.
And then Carla's always happy with a steak.
Yeah, steak. So we love steak houses, but yeah, our current favorite is Chuy's.
Mm.
They make these really good handmade corn tortillas. Corn tortilla is my favorite, so it's really good.
Chick-a-boom enchiladas are.
Mm-hmm. So, next, who is more social? Me? More social?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he can be social too. Like, when we were dating, we would go to like these meetings, the LTD meetings, and he will go and talk, and I will be just there, like, kind of like next to him. But yeah, I think by nature, like, sometimes girls would just seem to be like more talkative. But you can be social too.
Right. How would you define social?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as starting a conversation with a stranger, or running with a conversation with a stranger, or
Yeah.
or just meeting people. I would say meeting people. I meet more people. I'm more comfortable meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
But talking or throwing a party, that's where you would win that one.
Yeah, I used to throw parties like very often, like every birthday for the kids. But prior to our babies, I threw parties for his birthday. Like, I will invite people, and not everybody would come. About 50% would come, but it was like a big thing about parties, piñatas, because that's in my culture. So short answer, I'm more social. And we're gonna speed up the video a little bit because my camera, it is heating up and it's turning off, and we're about halfway those questions. So less detail, faster answers.
Who is the neat freak?
The neat freak, me? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm the neat freak.
Yeah. Where was your first kiss?
You answer that, please.
In the theater.
Yes.
With the lousy horror movie.
Yes. Like, he lay on my lap and he turned and he's like, and I'm like, okay, kiss time. I'm like, okay. It looks like he's interested then. Okay, next question. Fast.
Do you get flowers often?
Not often enough, but he's sweet. He gives me flowers. I hope you buy me a rose today because it's Valentine's.
Oh.
And for my birthdays. But Mother's Day.
Typically, we have a running agreement not to buy things that are just going to die.
Yeah. So he buys me plants. Or he gives me the money so I can plant. So I see all the flowers at my house. Next question.
How long did it take you to get serious?
You know what? Like, I've been answering these questions like technically forever. So why don't you help me?
About a year since we first started talking.
Yeah, like we were like, I'm like, where are we? Like I would just ask those questions to myself because they would ask me like at school, you have a boyfriend? I'm like, oh, I've been talking to this guy, but he doesn't ask me. Finally, he asked me to be his girlfriend. He made it official, but I think it took him a year?
Well, that question was 6 months.
For us to be serious?
Well, to be an official couple.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay,
Different
next.
question answer.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at? Any kids? Yes, 4.
4.
8. Michaela, she's 8. Mackenzie, she is 6. Maximus is 5.
Married 3.
Maverick's 3.
Yes. Next.
Plans date night.
We had one a month and a half ago.
The plan when we plan date nights is to alternate. She plans one, I plan the next.
Yes. So we want to go flying next time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where do you go? I fly?
Oh, the indoor skydiving.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Who picks where you go to dinner?
Both. Both of us.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
The kids.
The kids.
Who is the first one to admit when they're wrong? Does anyone ever admit they're wrong?
I think it used to be me first, and now it's like him, so I think it's fair, 50-50.
Sure.
Okay, next.
Who wears the pants in the relationship? Depends on what portion of the relationship we're dealing with.
Yes, I wear the pants here, cooking, handling the house, running the kids.
She's definitely the boss when it comes to the kids.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And just running the whole house. But when it comes to money,
I take care of the money.
he wears the pants. Like, he's the provider here.
Who cries more? Next question.
Well, it could be, it's about the same. I cry of happiness, He also cries of happiness. So, who cries the most?
Who has more tattoos?
Tattoos, 0 tattoos.
No tattoos. Who sings better?
I think he has a beautiful voice. And I think I have a beautiful voice, so I don't know. Like, my mom, she was a singer at our church. And so I've always believed that I have the gift too, to sing. And whenever I have heard him singing, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have Papa Roach's, what's the name of the band?
Papa Roach.
Papa Roach voice, he does.
Okay.
So I think we both sing really well to our opinions. At least do you enjoy me singing?
Sure.
Well, I enjoy when he sings. So I think he has the better singing voice.
Okay. hogs the remote. That would be Michaela, our oldest daughter.
Yes, like we're not the boss of the remote at all. I mean, of course, we keep watch what they watch, which is like very little television because we do a lot of school throughout the day because we're homeschooling parents. But yeah, he's not the boss of the TV or me, but he can be the boss on Sundays. On Sundays, nobody messes with the TV because, yeah.
Who spends the most?
Who spends the most?
I mean, if you count paying bills and groceries as spending the most, then I spend the most.
Yeah.
Mm.
Who spends I think it's equal. I mean, I buy things, I invest in the house, things that we need, like some furniture and my fitness attire, things like that. And you with Andy.
Well, I invest a lot in training.
Yeah, that's like a lot.
Stuff that I expect to get a return for.
Okay, me too. Satisfaction of having a happy home, you know?
More income.
So I think it's equal. We spend about the same.
Did you go to the same school?
No.
Nope.
We're not even born in the same country.
Mm-hmm.
Guatemalan girl right here, / Salvadorian, and white boy right here.
Gringo.
In Gringo. Yeah, no, I didn't even speak any English when we went to school, so until later.
Who drives when we're together? I do.
He does. I prefer it that way because I love just to chillax on the riding passenger's seat, which is nice.
And that's the last question.
That's the last question?
Yep. April 21st, we'll be 10 years married.
Yes, 10 years in this marriage. And we've known each other for how long?
Like 12 and a half years.
Yeah, almost 13 years. So, anything else that you would like to add?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. We're actually on our way to church. We filmed this really early before church. And we're kind of like trying to speed things up a little bit. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I appreciate you guys watching. And I will see you on my next one. Bye.